It's time for the whole 9 yards. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ralph Ventre, fired up and ready to go for Week 4 of the FCS football season. All 7 Northeast Conference teams are in action, so let's get right to work on our opening drive. It's a packed slate with a lot of opportunity for Northeast Conference teams to make some noise. Sacred Heart and St. Francis both playing on the road at CAA members. Sacred Heart, which is off to its third 3-0 start in the last 4 years, has a tall task at hand when it goes up against Stony Brook. Let's take a listen to what Sacred Heart head coach Mark Nofri has to say about the prime opportunity for his Pioneers.
We're going to play a great Stony Brook team. We just beat the number 2 rated team in the country in Richmond. They beat North Dakota the first week, so they're a good football team. We will have our hands full, and our kids have to prepare like they're going to play, a CAA school. They talk about it all the time, wanting to play a CAA school. Well, here's an opportunity for us to go down there. Great stadium, I'm sure, great environment against a very good team, and we have to show up and play. You got to play a team. You can't be timid or worried about what's going to happen. You got to go down and play our game and be ready for a dogfight for 60 minutes.
St. Francis also faces a top 25 team. The Red Flash visit Albany of the CAA. It's the first meeting between these two programs since 2012 when Albany was a Northeast Conference member. For the Red Flash, it'll be the 4th road game in a row. They've already visited Montana, Towson, and Columbia. Only one of 2 FCS teams to play the season's first 4 games on the road. And Albany head coach Greg Gattuso isn't taking SFU lightly. Gattuso, who's been around a while, a former coach at Duquesne in the Duke's pre-NEC days, notes how this is the best St. Francis team he's seen. Moving along here on the opening drive, we look at the other 3 non-conference games on the slate. Duquesne is home for the 3rd week in a row, looking to win its 3rd in a row when Big South member Kennesaw State visits the Bluff. It'll be the first ever meeting between these 2 programs. Robert Morris will look for its first win in front of a home crowd at Joe Walton Stadium when Division II Malone visits. That game will air live on Front Row. And then finally, in non-conference, Wagner, which is 2-0 for the first time in 10 years, takes a step up in class when they visit Boston College. That's 1 o'clock Eastern time. You can catch it on ESPN 3. And now, finally, on our opening drive, we get to the NEC football featured game of the week on ESPN 3. It's Bryant hosting Central Connecticut in the NEC season opener. These 2 teams played an all-time classic last year in New Britain, with Central prevailing 35-33, a game that had 4 fourth-quarter lead changes. Cam Nash taking the screen pass, going the distance for the winning score. We're expecting another good one this Saturday. Central at Bryant, 1 o'clock kick, ESPN 3. Now it's time to take a look at whose stock is on the rise. Keeping with the theme of our NEC Game of the Week, we look at Central Connecticut running back Brendan Linton. Linton, who missed much of 2015 due to injury, is back in a big way. He ran for 99 yards and 3 touchdowns in Central's Week 3 win over Bowie State, also showing his versatility, catching 2 passes for 44 yards, 143 all-purpose yards. Linton showed tremendous promise for the Blue Devils in 2014. Now, he's back on the field, and his stock is on the upswing in 2016. Combine him with scatback Cameron Nash, lightning quick, and Central Connecticut should have a formidable backfield moving forward. And after a long opening drive, I need a Twitter timeout. This week's tweet comes courtesy of Staten Island Advance writer Cormac Gordon. For those who ask why Wagner will play at Boston College this weekend, Cormac answers, why not? In his column, Gordon explains the positives of Wagner taking a step up in class. It's something that the Seahawks have done more than any other NEC member. They've played 5 FBS teams over the past 4 years. BC will be the 6th opponent. We'll have more on the NEC versus FBS later on in the show in the Did You Know segment. Somerset, it's an NEC Audible. For this week's soundbite, we go to Smithfield, Rhode Island. Bryant head coach Marty Fine. Fine has no problem admitting that every game is important, but he knows there's a premium opportunity with NEC games like this week's battle against Central Connecticut.
Our goal is to try and win the league championship and go to the national playoffs. That's our goal. That's what we're designed to try to do. We haven't gotten that goal done yet. We've come close several times. We played for the championship. But our goal is to win the league and play for the championship. We said that the very first show we ever had years ago, and that hasn't changed. Our sights are still on the same thing, and that's still in front of us. So we lost 2 non-conference games, but our first conference game is this weekend, and it's homecoming, and our kids are going to be excited to play. And it's a team we played great competitive games with last year, 35-33. So it's been close games every year with them. They're a little more athletic. We have to rely on our detail and discipline to give ourselves a chance. So that's the first thing. Is this is our first league game. We got to rally ourselves up and get going.
And now it's time for the final segment of the show as we drop some knowledge on you in our Did You Know? Did you know the first ever Northeast Conference team to face an FBS member was Central Connecticut State? The Blue Devils visited Mid-American Conference member Western Michigan during the 2007 season. And speaking of CCSU, you can watch them live, of course, in the NEC featured game of the week on ESPN 3. It's CCSU at Bryant, Paul Dottino, Kevin Gilbride, John Schmelk, live from Smithfield, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. It's the centerpiece of an exciting Week 4 docket. We'll have 2 games live for you right here on NECFrontRow.com. So go out there, enjoy the games. We'll see you next week. I'm Ralph Ventre. Thank you for watching The Whole 9 Yards.